What is going on, music producers, creators? This is DeSoto with Revency TV back here for another tutorial, this time with FL Studio, showing you the basics. I wanted to make this video because I see a lot of people on Reddit that are new to FL. They're watching Busy Works beats, they're watching this, but I try to be active in the Reddit community as a producer and a creator. So I'm gonna end up posting this on Reddit as well as YouTube. So I just wanted to show you the very basics of FL Studio, just how to navigate, how to get around, how you could start making beats. I'm not going to make a beat in this video, but those cook-up videos are coming. Excuse me, I need my coffee. Okay, so I know FL Studio seems quite dense, and honestly, until you figure out the way the system works, it's a little bit tricky. You have a channel rack, which is right here. This is basically where you make patterns. And then you take the patterns you create in the channel rack and paint them onto the arrangement view. And that's how you arrange your song. But it starts with, the patterns. So when you first open it up, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the arrangement view, you're going to see the browser view, and you're going to see the channel rack. Now, the channel rack is where most of the business is getting done. The arrangement view is going to be after you already have all the sounds you're going for. You basically built the song's biggest parts up. Then you're going to track everything out and arrange everything so that it's individual pieces. So basically you're making something big, then breaking it down to make the song. It's not how I'm used to doing things. I came from Logic, and it took me a long time to learn this. Put a lot of time into this. So these are the sounds you have loaded up. See, this is a standard. If you just left click on these, it brings up this window. You can click down here to hear the sound. You could edit the sounds in this window. You change the pitch, then you can go over here, envelope it, click this third one, and modulate it. So you could alter the sounds from within these windows. Now, for this pattern arrangement, what you're going to do is left click on patterns to place them and right click and drag to get rid of them. So let's make a little hip hop style beat here real quick. Okay, so let's just play that. Okay, so just real simple, there's nothing really to it. Now say we wanted to swap out these sounds. You could go to packs, drums, and pick stock sounds, but I highly recommend you make your own drum kits or download drum kits and take what you like and make your own out of that. I've hundreds and hundreds of drum sounds from many drum kicks. I personally really like the Boy Wonder sound, so we're going to go in here. Click them. Once you find something you like, you left click, drag it, drop it. So you're basically swapping out these sounds. Okay. Then we go to snare. And we'll just replace the clap. Lower that a little bit. Okay, I think it needs a hi-hat. I'm not even going to put the stock hi-hat in. I'm just going to go over here. This one's pretty good. So we're going to drag that. Now you see it's replaced. We're going to right-click, fill each 2 steps. Okay, it's really that easy to get a groove. I mean, you could... If you want to start out, you could even fill each 4 steps, then fill each 8 steps. Oop, that didn't come out right. Same thing, but you want it like that, and then you could just 2-step the hi-hat. So you're literally not even clicking anything, maybe like 2 notes. Then you could change it up, you know what I mean? Honestly, you just have to play with it. to get the sounds. Now, say you wanted to make the patterns a little more complex here. You can right click, go into the piano roll, and you'll see the notes that we programmed in right here. So if you wanted to make this one lower, you drag that down. Or drag it up. Just to give a little more groove or whatever you want to do. Mostly you're going to use the piano roll, but sometimes you could just kind of click little things in here if you don't want a lot of variation. So now that we have this drum pattern, what are we going to do with it? We're going to click these up here. These are your best friends. There's a lot of windows in FL Studio, which is real weird for me. I'm used to Logic where everything is just kind of on the screen at once. You don't really have to like look around for stuff, but this you have to click to open up the mixer. You got to click the tab to open up this window. You got to click to open up this window. So until you get used to that or know the shortcuts, it's going to be a bit of a pain in the ass, honestly. You have your mixer window, your arrangement window. I still get the buttons confused. I know what they are, but sometimes when you're in your zone, you're not really thinking. You're just kind of clicking, and then it's frustrating sometimes. So we have this little 4-bar loop. Say we want to make this an 8-bar loop. We could drag this out, add another 4 bars in, and activate this part, and fill each 2 steps. So let's hear this. There we go. Okay, so now we have an 8-bar simple little drum loop. Now I'm just showing you this to get you started. I'm not showing you how to make a song. I'm not making a song here. I'm showing you how to use the program a little bit, the basics, just to do basic things. Then you can get more complicated. So we have this pattern. We're going to go into the arranger. Make sure it's set to pattern 1 up here. This is how you select what pattern you want to paint. If you want to select what pattern you're actually on here, say create a second drum pattern that's different than this and organize them, we'll go to pattern 2. I'll get to that next. So we want to make sure we have the draw tool selected or hit the shortcut of P, and we're just going to click these in. Now you can see, here's the pattern. There's the same pattern. We could loop it. You do the loops by right clicking and dragging. So we'll do a 4-bar loop, and we'll click in one more of these. So now we have a full 4-bar pattern rather. Instead of playing the playlist, it starts up here on pattern, which plays the pattern, exactly the pattern in the channel mixer, or the channel rack rather, not the actual song or the playlist. If say you're coming from Logic or something like Studio One and you double click and add a new track, that's basically what the track, they're just the tracks you use, like you would normally record on. But it took me a while to figure that out. It was kind of confusing at first. So we're going to go to song, and you see the switches. Okay, then we're going to hit play. Okay, now say we don't want this. We right click to delete. Whatever you click with this right click is going to get deleted, but you could just paint it right back. It's no big deal. Okay, so say I want a second pattern here. We could go to pattern 2. Ideally you want to name everything and send it to the mixer and have everything organized, but I'm not going to do that in this video. Okay, now say we just want some kind of standard like 80s style stuff for some reason. And then we'll click that in. Oh, that's still pattern 1. So you have to go up here, go to pattern 2, and it's still coming up as pattern 1. There we go. My bad, guys. Okay, so now we have these. Double click in, go up here to the select tool, and we're going to drag this over. So let's hear the song. Okay, you get what I'm saying. And then it picks back up. So that's how you would arrange things. You're basically making patterns, then painting the patterns and organizing them into songs. So when you're creating the pattern, you're not making the whole song. You're building parts of the song. So say you could build everything on one pattern if you want, and then you could say you want to track out pattern one. So you want to break all these down. You would go to this little button here and split by channel. Now, this pattern that we painted is going to be split. So we could click these. Rather, we want to click individually. So you can't have everything highlighted. So just drag down. Here's the hi-hat. Now we have the hi-hat and pattern 4 and the snare. So we can click the snare in, click the hi-hats in, and we could basically just delete that. Now let's listen. It'll be the same thing. Then we also have the kick. So you see that it took that pattern, broke it down over here, and then we could paint in the individual pieces. Now this could get a little tricky when you have really complex patterns, but for the most part, for this I'm just going to keep it simple. Now say we want to change that kick sound, maybe add a compressor on the kick or something like that. We're going to go down here, see it's on channel 1 in the mixer, kick. So we're going to go here, open up the mixer with this button. Now channel 1, and so we want to add, this is how you add effects. You go to the mixer, select whatever track you want, go over here to slot 1 or whatever slot you want to put the effect on, but the order of the effects does matter. Put whatever you want on there, do what you got to do, roll off the top end. Okay, then you could adjust the volumes in here if you want. This is also a volume knob. This is a pan knob. Ideally, just leave those alone for right now. So we're going to go back here to the arrangement view and say I want to add some music instead of just rhythm parts. So instead of programming, if you wanted to say put FL keys on here, you could go over here, go to drum packs, or not drum packs, just packs rather, go to instruments and choose whatever you want. We'll just put this grand piano on here for now, so drag that over. Sorry, my computer's a little slow, guys, bear with me. Okay, so just X that out, we don't need that. Now I have a MIDI keyboard set up, so you could record something in. If you wanted to swap this sound out for another synthesizer, you could right click, and you could do that with any of these. Go to replace and put in FL keys or whatever synthesizer you would like to replace it with. You could also clone the track. So for this, I don't want to actually use this grand piano. I could, I don't want to play it right now. My mind is not in the creative place. So we're just going to go over here to download samples. Now, I highly recommend samples when you're first getting started until you learn how to actually, until you learn some music theory and chord structure and how melody works and what a counter melody is and how to incorporate all that stuff. You could still make music by using samples, but you don't want to get stuck in that. Some producers do, that's all they do. They just drag a sample, they have the little clip they use, and then just loop that and add drums and bass and a melody that they sampled, and that's it. I'm not knocking sampling. What I'm saying is they just go to slice and pull pieces off and then arrange the sound. So they didn't actually create any of the music themselves. It has none of their own essence in it. It's just, they download a loop and that's that. So let's listen to this and pick a synth, or not a synth, a sample rather. Okay, so just say I'm going to use this bell. Click this bell, you're going to drag it over here. Boom. Now you'll see that it doesn't fit within the loop. So what we could do is go up here and we're going to change the tempo to 140, because that would, or rather, instead of 140, we're going to half that to 70. And let's play that. Now it's slow, but this is lined up. So we're going to double click here, switch the mode from resample to stretch. Listen again. Not much of a difference. But this time when we bring up the tempo, nothing's changing. This isn't moving anymore. So once you get it to match up, you could swap it to stretch and then change the tempo. I'm going to click that. And you could basically make a whole song out of this. Hold down shift, and then we're gonna click on this and drag it over. Then let go of the mouse. That's how you copy. So we're going to go over here, select this stuff, hold shift, click, and drag. Now let's say I want this part first. We're gonna select this, drag that over, drag this over. This is tracked out, so we have to select all of it. Okay, so I just want this. So select that, shift, drag over, and I'm honestly just going to delete these and copy this over. Shit. Okay, we gotta select all this. I keep forgetting. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so let's listen. Not too bad, not too bad. Now, if you're having problems, things aren't lining up, you gotta check your snap. If your snap is off, you could move things wherever. Or I'm sorry, this is not for that. Your magnet up here. It's set to line. If you set it to none, you'll see you could just drag things freely. It won't snap, but sometimes you'll get them real close, but they just won't get locked into where you want them. So you got to go up here, go to line, and actually just play with it a little bit, and you'll get it to lock in. So that's all I'm going to show you guys for part 1 of this tutorial. I will pick up where I left off, and we'll turn this into an actual thing. I'll reprogram everything, and we'll throw in some actual melody and make a song out of this. But I think that's enough so you guys I just want you to be able to lay a drum pattern down and have something over it. Whether it be a sample or whatever. So that's going to be the end of this video, guys. I hope you liked it. I hope you could at least go into FL Studio now and play around and maybe get some drums down and throw a sample over it and get that to match up and just be able to make something. That's the goal. Just be able to make something. So thank you guys. I appreciate the support. Please like, comment, subscribe. Always sub for sub. Follow back. Always. You could find me on Twitter at Big Papa Revency. You can find me on Instagram at Revency Music, and on YouTube at Revency TV 2010. There will be more videos coming in the future, guys. Thank you so much for the support. If you guys would like to see any videos or need tips or advice for anything, or would like to see me talk about something or share my opinion, please put that down in the comments below. Again, please hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, Revency TV out.